Hi everyone, welcome to Starsight Tarot. Please pick the card that is calling to you right now. And if you need more time, please pause the video. Hi Pile 1. The short answer to the question is you are not acting. I know that the topic for our picker card is are you acting in alignment with what you want? But it seems that you are not acting, and this is something that is really scaring you. This is your real question at this time. Is it okay to not act? Am I making a choice by not deciding? Am I doing the right thing? Am I dealing the inevitable? Am I in denial of some kind? It's just that so much is going on at the level of your emotional body. It kind of makes sense that you're not able to act right now. I think also your guides are saying that what you understand to be action, you need to change that. Right now, your inner critic is so very strong and sort of unproductive. Okay, it's not helping you because it is its feedback is based on fear, it's rooted in fear. So its feedback is coming, the inner critic's feedback is coming from this fear that you're making it worse. You're making an already painful situation worse for yourself by not acting. But the truth is you really don't have all the data yet, and that data is not supposed to come to you from the external world. It is internal data, it's emotional data, it is data about what you want and where you're going and how you've changed. There's just so much integration that needs to happen before you act in the external world. And this is what I was saying earlier about your guides is saying that you need to change your understanding of action. By doing all of this work, you're already acting. Yes, but there is still some no that is here, something that you could do that you're not doing. And even as I'm saying that, I hear you bristling. Like it's, you want someone to push you, you want someone to criticize you, but even the hint of a critique or the hint of you're not doing what you're supposed to do is too much for you. And so one thing you have to deal with here is, one thing that you need to work on right now is separating critique from judgment, right? That's not going to help you right now. So if you're experiencing your own critique or anyone else's critique as judgment, that is only going to paralyze you. So work on that, figure out where that fear of judgment is coming from, who in your life has been very judgmental, all of that projection that is going on, like put that to rest so that you can really open yourself to critique. One thing that is coming up, one wound or one distortion that is coming up is pride. You want to act in a way, your fantasy of action is a very sophisticated person who's very much in charge of themselves and who's taking a decisive stance such that no one can question you. This is your image, this is the dream of action, this is how you want to ultimately act. And your guides are saying that that is actually holding you back. that image of someone having a really good finished idea of what life is going to look like after this. This is something that is holding you back. This is something that you need to release. You may have to act from a place that is uncertain. You may have to act from a place that is scared, from a place that doesn't that from a place where you don't know what's coming next, a place where you can't fully justify the decision that you've taken to others, a place where someone might question you and you might not know how to answer that, a place where you might hurt someone else, you might alienate someone else, and you may not be at peace with that. I think you're trying really, really hard to be at peace with the possibility of disappointing others, to be at peace with the possibility of sort of confusing others, or not being able to give other people a satisfactory explanation. But at the same time, if your dream is to be satisfied in your own heart, like, I'm going to be very clear about what I want to do. It may not be clear to others, but I'm going to be very clear, and that is actually a defense. You're so afraid of not being clear to others, you're so afraid of taking the wrong decision, that you're thinking, oh, I'll be clear in myself, and so then it will be all right. But your guides are saying this is not that kind of a realm. It's a realm of very tricky, complex, multifaceted decisions, and you can only take one tiny step at a time. Okay? Yeah, this is a really complex situation, that much is clear. But it feels primarily like an emotional situation, in the sense that the holdup is emotional. There may be a lot of practical stuff that you need to do, but the root quality of the situation is emotional, and you're trying over time, you're working very hard to sort this emotional world inside of yourself, and you're thinking, once I do that, I will know what to do. And this is what your guides are saying. You need to you need to accept that it may not be linear in that way. Clarity then action. Instead, it may be that you don't have the big picture, but you have, like, through your emotional work, you have an instinct towards a tiny step that you want to take. You take that step, and then the path slowly opens in front of you. Again, that whole process may involve self-doubt, it may involve delays, it may have time lags in between, where you take a tiny step and then the next step doesn't appear. Don't you're getting really, you're treating all of those things, that trickiness, you're treating those time lags, those possible delays, as judgments of you. Like, if you had the right decision, then it would just flow, action would just flow. This is the flaw in your thinking. This is the false belief that you need to release. You're okay. This is a really difficult situation. No one expects you to have the correct answer. If someone expects you to have the correct answer, that is their problem. You are doing the best you can already. There is no doubt here about that. You're doing the best you can. You will continue doing the best you can. You are acting in integrity. You're being honest with yourself. That is all that is required of you. Okay? Now, through that honesty, through that integrity, if some opening is available to you, you are being given the green signal to act in that small opening. Don't think of this as a grand act that you need to do. Instead, work in small little steps, and those steps, they will emerge through the emotional work that you're already doing. Yes, once you take that tiny step, if there is some confusion, there is some ripple in the field where you don't know what comes next, that is okay. That does not mean that you have failed. That does not mean that you've gotten it wrong. Okay, so one step at a time, and that step also, your guides are emphasizing that don't pressurize yourself to come up with a very nice, rational, neat, logical explanation for that step. If you feel in your body that you're ready for it, you want to do it, then you should do it. Some of the clarity is also going to come as you take the steps. Even if you have to reverse any of those steps, that clarity to reverse things or the situation will come after you take the step. So at this time, action is very interwoven with the process that you are going through. Okay? So yes, you're doing good work, pile 1. This is a really important time of your life. This is a very, very important set of decisions in your life, and so much that you've done in the last 5 years is now coming to fruition in the form of this opportunity to decide, to move in the direction that you want to. Okay, this is truly a moment of choosing, and there's a lot of work you've done to be able to get here. So your guides are congratulating you for that. Okay. All the best, pile 1. Hi, pile 2. The short answer to your question is yes, you are. You're doing beautiful work. You're acting in alignment with what you want. But what's happening is that there is an overemphasis on action that is taking place at this time. So you may be doing really well at the level of practical building. You may be doing really well at the level of structuring your current reality so that you can move towards what you want. Like, all of that's going really well. But what you may be missing, or what you may not be giving time and energy to, is the inspiration side of things, or sort of the love. I think the easiest way to put it is through the word, is in the word love. Sorry about that sentence. I know that it's not grammatically correct, but what I'm trying to say is, yeah, it's like you're so lost in the practical work, good practical work. You're doing so well there. It's so satisfying. It's really lovely to pour yourself into the details and checking things off your to-do list, building a structure, delegating work. You're doing so well there that there's no space or time to feel love towards what you're building or what you're moving towards. This is like CEO energy, where the whole the startup began with a moment of inspiration, and then it worked, and it got so successful, and it got so big that now the person is a CEO, and there isn't time to appreciate, there isn't time anymore to spend with the object of one's love. Let's say that you started a fashion brand, and now there's no time to sit with the cloth, and now there's no time to dream up new motifs, and there's no time now to sit and just creatively wander through the different possibilities available to you. Now it's all deadlines and who's making what and who's producing what. So you are acting in alignment, you're doing very beautiful work, but your guides are saying step back a little bit from the everyday grind. Step back and remember why you're doing this and feel it. The emotional component needs to be experienced and expressed more deeply. This could also be like a marriage where things are going really well and you have a whole thing set up, but somehow the emotional interactions have faded over time. That those moments of emotional togetherness have faded over time. Your guides are saying that there is a reason why this is happening. I mean, psychically for you, there is a reason. It's not just that the work has taken over. It's not just that, okay, things are going so well, you were needed to work in this way, so you are doing it. You also know that if at this stage of the work you let yourself feel the love, there is going to be something difficult about it. Okay, let's go back to that marriage example where we built a whole world together and that world is now practically really stable. Now to allow yourself to feel emotional togetherness comes with a very deep risk. First of all, the risk is that you have to be vulnerable at a whole other level than before because the relationship is only deepening. But the other problem is that there is also now the fear of loss. The fear of loss is very, very deep, is what I'm seeing. You may not have allowed yourself to fully feel it ever, and it's now coming up as a sign of progress. It's now coming up because you have built a container that is stable enough for you to experience this terror. Yeah, you're really afraid of loss. If it's a work thing, you're really afraid that all of this stuff that you're building, there are so many things that are out of your control, and what if there is an expiration date to this empire that you're building? Or if it's a relationship, it really feels like the depth of love that you actually feel towards this person is just, it's extreme. And so it's easier to be busy with routines and habits, and we go eat breakfast together on Sundays at this place. This is our cafe and this is what we do. It's easier to do all of that than to actually feel the love moving through your bones. And there can't be an outlet for that. That is something you can only experience in your own body, and it's too much, because it also comes with that fear of losing the other person, losing the relationship, losing the self even. I think you've reached a stage of the building pile too where now it's time to transform. Now it is time to let the work change you. So the things about you that might have put this whole process in action, some of those things need to change now. I'm sorry to talk about this in such an abstract way. I'm guessing that you're going to be able to fill in the particulars. It is a general reading, so, but there is the possibility of loss and the possibility of grief that you need to fully embrace. That is why you're keeping the love at bay. With the work also, if it's work, if it's something you're building professionally, a whole other level of creation is now needed, and you may be afraid that you're not good enough for that. Like, this is really good right now as it's going, and let it be. Like, you may be afraid that if you try to level up, you may fail. So there is a fear of failure here, fear of loss here. So you are acting in alignment with what you want, but you don't yet realize that you're already there. You already have what you want, and it's time now to deepen your dream, and it is time now to accept that there is more to be had. But for that, risk taking needs to occur, and you're ready, Pile 2. You're really ready. I think that if this is your message, then you just maybe need to sit with this for a bit, and then slowly open yourself to what you already know. Open yourself to what you already feel. It's not that you have to now love this thing that you're building. You already love it at an insane level. You just need to open yourself to that truth. Okay. Very beautiful energy here. What is coming for you, Pile 2, is it's beyond your wildest dreams. You could have never imagined love would get you here, is what I'm hearing. It's very moving. I never knew love could get me here. I thought maybe it would be hard work. I thought maybe it would be luck. I thought maybe it would be other people supporting me. I never knew my own love would bring me here. Alright, Pile 2, all the best with this next level of your dream.